The eternal cycle. How history's bullies always fall, and find no mercy throughout history. A brutal pattern repeats with clockwork precision. Powerful nations rise like schoolyard bullies, dominating weaker neighbors through force and exploitation. Yet when these giants eventually stumble, they discover a harsh truth: mercy is rarely extended to those who showed none. Ancient lessons. The Assyrian Empire terrorized the ancient Near East for centuries, perfecting psychological warfare through mass impalement and forced relocations. When Babylon finally conquered Nineveh in 612 BCE, they showed the Assyrians exactly the mercy they had given others: none. The great capital was burned so thoroughly that its location was lost for millennia. Rome dominated for 1,000 years through military superiority and ruthless expansion. When it finally weakened, the barbarian tribes it had oppressed felt no obligation to preserve their oppressor. The Visigothic sack of Rome in 410 CE was just the beginning of a collapse welcomed by former subjects. Colonial boomerang Spain extracted unimaginable wealth from the Americas through extraordinary cruelty, destroying entire civilizations. By the 19th century, Spain had become Europe's weakest power, its former colonies independent and unsympathetic to Spanish interests. Britain ruled a quarter of the world through violence and economic exploitation. When it weakened after 2 world wars, independence movements from India to Kenya showed no mercy to British settlers or economic interests. The empire that ruled through fear discovered that fear cuts both ways. The Soviet Union dominated Eastern Europe for half a century, crushing uprisings with tanks. When it collapsed in 1991, former satellites rushed to join NATO, organizations designed to contain Russian power. This resentment continues today, with former Soviet republics among Russia's most vocal opponents. The Palestine example. Israel's treatment of Palestinians illustrates this pattern's modern complexity. Decades of settlement expansion, military occupation, and restrictions have created deep resentment among Palestinians and much of the Arab world. The October 7, 2023 Hamas attacks and subsequent war demonstrate how accumulated grievances can explode into cycles of violence. Israel's current military superiority provides security today, but history suggests that power imbalances eventually shift, and the oppressed rarely show mercy to former oppressors. Why the pattern persists? This cycle continues because power breeds hubris. Dominant nations believe their strength is permanent and justified, leading to overextension and failure to build genuine partnerships. Memory spans generations. Oppressed peoples don't forget humiliation. These memories create deep wells of resentment that make future mercy psychologically impossible. There's moral justification. Former victims genuinely believe their lack of sympathy is righteous. Why show mercy to those who showed none? Finally, systemic incentives. The international system provides no mechanism to restrain powerful actors when strong or protect them when weak. The technological wild card. 3 emerging technologies could dramatically alter this ancient pattern. Artificial intelligence may create unprecedented power asymmetries. Nations achieving AI supremacy could dominate economically and militarily like never before. However, AI might also democratize power by giving smaller nations advanced capabilities, potentially creating a more multipolar world where no single bully can dominate. Quantum computing threatens to break current encryption, potentially allowing quantum-advanced nations to access any other country's secrets, communications, and financial systems. This could create the ultimate tool of domination, or ultimate vulnerability when the technology inevitably spreads. Cryptocurrency enables financial systems independent of traditional banking, potentially undermining the economic leverage that powerful nations have historically used to enforce their will. Sanctioned countries and resistance movements can now operate outside traditional financial controls. These technologies could either accelerate the bully cycle, creating more extreme power imbalances, or break it entirely by making sustained domination impossible in an interconnected, rapidly evolving world. Modern manifestations and future implications. The United States faces criticism worldwide for interventions from Vietnam to Iraq. When American dominance eventually wanes, former allies may show little sympathy for American security concerns. China's assertiveness in the South China Sea and toward Taiwan creates the same resentment that historically returns to haunt declining powers. Yet technology might change everything. A nation achieving true AI or quantum supremacy could potentially maintain permanent dominance, or these technologies could make all traditional power structures obsolete. The unforgiving logic continues. The schoolyard bully analogy captures something profound. Absent consistent higher authority, power creates predictable cycles of abuse and revenge. Nuclear weapons, economic interdependence, and international institutions may modify but won't eliminate this pattern. Understanding this cycle won't stop it. The incentives are too strong, the psychology too ingrained. But emerging technologies present humanity with an unprecedented question. Will AI, quantum computing, and cryptocurrency finally break the eternal cycle of rise and fall, or will they simply create new, more sophisticated forms of the same ancient pattern? History's greatest lesson remains its simplest. What goes around, comes around. The bully always falls, and mercy is a currency they can never earn back. Whether technology changes this fundamental truth may be the defining question of the 21st century.